Well, the Albion College Student Farm started in the spring of 2010 by about 5 people, and the goal was to create a sustainable, local food source for our cafeteria, and also to expose students to that and the importance of organics and like a local food system.
I think that it's good to be able to teach about these sustainable practices and show how it's easy to have your own personal garden, and it saves you money and it's healthier for you and the environment. So I think it's important to show these alternatives for everyone, from people who live in a food desert to people who live in just suburbia. Everybody can have a garden.
Like a bio-intensive garden tries to minimize the space that it's using, and also using multiple species in one area diminishes the chance that you could get like a pest infestation. Also, because we don't use pesticides, this helps to offset that difference. And growing naturally is important because I think that the food that you eat is going to be healthier if you're not spraying it with synthetic chemicals.
One of the main points from my perspective is the farm should be a place where students can learn to work on their own, work independently, learn skills like that, and this group has done it wonderfully.
Yeah, so we've learned a lot from our community. Like, it's really been a team effort. Like, the Albion College helped enormously. They let us use their grounds vehicles for distribution, and like any kind of moving of compost and stuff. The Equestrian Center gives us all their compost.
They got a lot. They got to do something with that.
Yeah. All the produce made at the student farm is sold right back into Baldwin. Just directly from door to door.
We've worked with them saying what do you think you'll use, and that's what we grow. So we base it solely upon what they want, and so it's been working out really well.
There's this whole movement in sustainability of eating local food, and the most local food you can have is the food you've grown yourself.
What I've learned at the farm that I'm going to take on onwards in life is that when you're growing food, it's going to always have a couple factors. Good soil, you're going to have to water it specifically, and pay attention to each plant. And those skills, and in general just the ability to grow food, is a really important, I think, lifelong skill that I'll always be able to use to some level.
Like, before me and Cody came here, one of our biggest issues was, well, where are we going to put this garden? Because Albion has a every lawn needs to be under 10 inches, and produce, vegetables counts as needing to be under 10 inches, so how are we going to do that? And so through working with the city and learning, talking to the council and everything like that, we've learned to we've been able to switch the ordinances now, and people can have their own gardens in their front yards. And so we've really just gotten immersed in the town itself and what goes on with the people here.
Developing the farm is also developing the students as leaders, as people who can work in a group. And I've been working with students doing projects like this for over a decade now. And for me, I've come to believe that this is the best way to develop leadership.
I think one of the most important things I've learned is that, a couple of things. First, that farming is more of a guessing game than I thought. You learn things by experience, and along with that, community is really important, especially in a small town like Albion. That's who you can go ask about problems in the field. Also, none of these projects that we've been doing would be possible without the work of other community members. And it's a concern for us at this point is how the farm is going to continue. But we've been trying to get involved in the community and get involved in educational programs, and that's one thing that I think that we can promote and use to seek out larger funding because of our wider scope and benefit to the community around us.
Really work on it as a place for education, but also a place for fun. And if those can go hand in hand, we've got something magic going on there, and that's what I'm hoping for.
The students are definitely the key. I mean, we call it the Albion College Student Farm. So the students are definitely key in getting everything done, and that's why I originally wanted to start it, is because I wanted students to be able to take part and be hands-on learning, oh, this is how my food is actually produced.
I think that the idea of a local food system is becoming kind of a hot issue, especially in Michigan, and we're surrounded by farms, but it's all corn. If we can get people to grow in the city, it reduces transportation costs. They'll eat healthier. It's cheaper than going to the one grocery store in town. And it's things like that that I think will, help this project continue, that kind of energy.